Morning in 8 minutes, a family in mourning today as they lost 2 people in a deadly house fire over the weekend.
Marlene Sethany and Angela Cook died during the fire off Hawkins Road in Sweetwater. Cook and her husband were originally from Minnesota. They moved to East Tennessee years ago. Over the last few years, Sethany followed and stayed with her. Sethany was heavily involved with her church back in Minnesota. And this morning, the TBI is now investigating the fire. The sheriff tells us there's no word on how it started.
And we know now more about the person who died after a restaurant fire that happened at the Bronco Mexican restaurant in Harrogate a few weeks ago. Crews say when they were clearing the fire, they found a body. This morning, the Claiborne County Sheriff tells us Claudio Luna Matias died. The TBI is investigating how that fire started.
And this morning, the TBI also investigating a deadly shooting in Oliver Springs. This happened just before midnight Monday at a home on Kingston Avenue. Officers found a 34-year-old man shot multiple times. He later died at UT Medical Center. Police say for now, it appears the shooter acted in self-defense. They're waiting for the autopsy before making a final determination. A woman this morning is accused of slashing the tires of more than 40 cars on UT's campus yesterday.
UT police say 29-year-old Sky Cialaba is a student. She's now charged with 1 count of felony vandalism. Police say there could be more charges as more reports come in. If you think your car was one of these vehicles that was vandalized, please call UTPD. And an update this morning on a couple bills that could impact your wallet. A Senate subcommittee delayed a vote on a bill to exempt fruits and veggies from sales tax because the sponsor was sick. It'll come back next week, but likely won't do well. That same committee voted thumbs down on 2 bills that would end the state sales tax on all groceries. One bill is Democrat-backed, the other backed by Republicans. While the grocery tax bills move on to the full Senate Ways and Means Committee, the negative referral means they'll likely die there for a second year in a row. Right now, state lawmakers considering bills that could impact IVF fertility treatments.
One of those bills passed unanimously in the Senate Monday. Knoxville Republican Senator Becky Duncan Massey introduced the Fertility and Contraceptive Protection Act. It would guarantee the right to treatments like IVF. House Health Committee is set to hear that bill next week. Another bill would prohibit genetic testing on embryos unless it's only for a certain condition. A House subcommittee voted that down yesterday. Some Republicans saying they voted against it because they wanted more time to discuss it. And new rules could make it more complicated for some people to collect their Social Security benefits.
The White House says they're aimed at reducing fraud. One rule starting March 31st requires people who can't prove their identity online to visit a field office. Another bars beneficiaries from changing their bank account information by phone. That all starts March 29th. These changes come as the agency's closing some field offices and trying to reduce the workforce by about 12%. Online services are still available, but many people who collect Social Security benefits are seniors. NASA astronauts Barry Butch Wilmore, the Tennessee native, and Sonny Williams finally back on planet Earth.
Finally, they splashed down off the coast of Florida yesterday evening. The two were originally just supposed to be in space for a few days last June, but they ended up staying on board the ISS for 9 months because of mechanical problems. Wilmore and Williams will now spend a couple of days in Houston getting checked on, some medical tests before they get to go home with their families. After their mission, Williams holds the record for the most time spent in the vacuum of space by a woman. And NASA officials say the two conducted more than 150 experiments up there, which included using stem cell technology to potentially address blood diseases, autoimmune disorders, and cancers. Well, you may want to keep your eyes on the sky. A rare celestial event is underway.
From now through Friday, the planet Venus is visible in both the morning and evening skies above the northern hemisphere. This happens a few days before the planet passes between the sun and Earth. And it won't happen again until 2033. You'll find Venus slightly above the sun after sunset and before sunrise, and you won't need any special equipment. Venus very bright because of its closer proximity to the sun, but if the sun is still in the sky, you will need to protect your eyes.
It is 6:54. We want to get a check of your first alert traffic with Olivia.
Yeah, guys, keeping a close eye on the roads this morning, not tracking any issues. We're going to take a couple live looks around. First at Watt Road, east and westbound lanes up to speed, seeing a few more cars in that area than I was seeing just a little bit earlier. But another look, I-75 at Merchant Drive, north and southbound lanes look good. You see some cars traveling in those southbound lanes. We're used to hitting the brakes in that area. Another look, 640 at Western Avenue, no issues there. One more look closer to downtown, east and westbound lanes moving along. You see those buildings that lit up, but traffic is up to speed right now.
Good morning. Olivia and I are trying to, summon spring with these bright colors. But today, the last day of winter, really pretty warm. That's going to change, though. The big weather story today is the very high fire risk, high winds, high temperatures, low humidity. So be really, really careful with things, even like a cigarette. But what you need to know, shorts weather later on at 78, high winds and that high fire risk. And then we've got warmth out there into some storms on Monday. Today, you can get the first alert weather app free to download with that QR code. It works for both iOS and Android, and I'll leave that up there. But 44 this hour, actually. We just went down 6 degrees, big time. 66, though, by noon. And 78 by 4 o'clock. Southwest winds gusting to 35. That's only going to bring out more of the pollen. I'm feeling it right about here, that pollen headache. Man, here's your first alerts 8-day planner. Sunburn City today. Also very windy. And then tomorrow, first day of spring, right? Keep it going. 50 degrees. It's going to snow in parts of the area, sticking atop the Smokies. I blame Heather because she's not here and she can't do anything about it. But it's just, it's going to be a cold day, kind of drizzly and 32 on Friday. We've got more rain on Monday and then colder next week.
You know what? I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her you said that.
She blames you a lot because you're not here on the morning.
That's
so
true.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so it
Very
balances out. When it's 78 today and beautiful, you can thank me that you're out there in the shorts. But I got a sunburn yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It was absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to be
Out there, back again, enjoying that weather.
All right, that'll do it for us here on WVLT News this morning. Headed over to WBXX, the CW Knoxville. We hope you have a nice Wednesday.